shot, stand in front of the camera. Hi, I'm Joe Little. You saw some of those up there with Santa Claus. Right here, but when I went to Pennsylvania, I think I didn't see the future, but I liked it so much. I think because I liked one-man banding, I kept it up, kept nurturing it, and kept on doing it. I didn't do it every day, but I did at least once a week. I kept the skills up. And then I think what really pushed me over the top was when I got out here and I was just broke. I had no money. I had those freelance jobs at NBC, and I had this really wonderfully paying job in cable. God bless you cable folks, because I know what's going on. It's brutal. So I went out and said, well, how can I make money? Well, I love doing all this video stuff, and so I sold out and did wedding videos. Wow. And now we're talking about thinking on another level. I was using 3 cameras, 3 tripods, all by myself. And during ceremonies and receptions, I would just basically just set them up in tripods and be very quiet, stealthy, and just thinking on, and already formatting my brain to a whole other level of just thinking on 3 different planes. That's a wide shot, there's a medium shot, this is a close-up. I switched that one up to wide shot, this is a close-up, and that's a medium shot. And then I bought me that program, Final Cut Pro, and it was just my first real, like, okay, editing on the computer screen, there's no twisty buttons. Anyone who's never done video, we used to have the tapes. You take a picture of VHS tape, you put it in one machine, another tape in this machine, and you would literally, like gears, like turn the tape this way, and now, okay, there's where I wanted to start, and this one over here, I want to start over here, and you hit buttons, and then they would rewind, and then they would record together. It was fun, but it's really slow compared to what we're doing today. So I bought myself this computer program, and I taught myself how to just do video production by myself. And then when 10 News came calling, or came off, I was like, well, can I apply both news to this online thing, this computer thing? And yeah, you can. And it's exactly what they asked for. I'd never done news nonlinear on a computer, and it just evolved. I've always been evolving, and it just happened to be at the right place at the right time. You know, because there are people who are still stuck, and because they weren't evolving this entire time.
How much do people want to watch video on a newspaper website?
Well, considering that Sign On San Diego gets about 15 times more hits than 10news.com, and they're shooting video, I mean, right? And aren't those the numbers? I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm not a web guy, and I don't know the stats. I just know how to do my job. As it comes to research, I mean, if someone had the right formula, we'd all be doing it. You know, and UT's doing video. I spent a couple of days on Stennis with one of their photogs, and he was jazzing me, man. He was killing me because he had his still camera, and he had this like C brace, and he put a cannon, one of the small cannons, on top of the C brace. So wherever he pointed his camera, he was recording his video. What are you doing? He's like, I'm getting video. Oh, you're topping me. Okay. And and to be honest, I've never done it. I don't know how good his video is, but he's one of the best. I've seen his still photos, and they're redonkulous. So I mean, you can't really mess up with the video that bad. He's already got the eye. And I know I've actually sat down and watched some of the UT guys' video and emailed them like, it's embarrassing to have a still photographer, kick your ass for video. I was sitting there like, I did the story, and like a week later, I beat him on the story, but I wouldn't watch his video, and it just destroyed me. It just completely wrecked me that he did better than me with his video. Son of a bitch. I have to kill him now. I emailed him and said, dude, good job. You're embarrassing me. Please delete this from your website.
Who was it?
I don't remember. I'm so bad with names of people I don't interview. My colleagues, I'm like, hey, you. But like Jerry Sanders and this stuff. Hey, buddy. Beer? Hey, sweet. All right. What was his name? Your photog. He was your photog. Charlie.
I'm blanking on them. Sorry.
But,
But he did it.
old guy. Vietnam vest.
John.
Thank you, John.
You know, I would like to say this. I was with him on the Stenson video. This guy has the energy, personality. A lot of times it comes from and it can be done. That's what it's gonna do.
Thank you. And your newspaper copy destroyed mine. Jerk. Obliterate. I was like going, how did I write that? It's not that
Well, I
hard.
think that brings up a good question about how can you be excellent at everything? And I'm wondering, what do you say?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
I'm really good at certain things, but you know, in 2008 I put a video online for my mom, and I was like, oh, what the hell? I'll send it to a few friends, and one of them was a news director at NBC 25 in Hagerstown, Maryland. He sent it to. He was at the time, I didn't know, he was the president of RTNDA, and then he sent it to his friends, and they sent it to his friends, and then Al Tompkins from Pointer calls me and does a little thing. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm getting publicity. That's a good time to get dated. I didn't. What? What? Oh, Master of None. It's, and I think I just was the first to really take it and be creative with it. I think a lot of people who start out with one-man band were just trying to get their job done. And I could get the job done, so I said, okay, well, let's have fun with it now. Let's be creative. Let's do what the photogs do, who are really good. Those MPPA guys. Those guys who are the best of the best. I'm nowhere near as good as they are, but I've been watching them. I like what they do. Why can't I be good at that? Now I do these stand-ups that are really creative stand-ups. And I was accused of being a feature reporter. Like, no, those are A-block stories, by the way. Thank you, son. Just because it's a city council meeting doesn't mean you have to be dry and boring and want to tie. No, it's television. It's visual. Let's make it entertaining. I want people to watch me. I don't want to turn. There's Joe Little. Click. What's on QVC? I think to be successful, you have to be a jack of all trades. You have to be able to do everything. But to set yourself apart from the next guy, you have to excel at something. I will be the first to admit that my writing is nowhere and will never be as good as Halton's. I will never write an AP as well as UT guys. I'll never be as good as an MPPA shooter or some of my photogs on my station. But I will be one of the best one-man bands who just sort of separates himself with maybe a little creativity and personality. My pieces, I always throw a little smart-ass comment in it. For me, I know it's shocking. But I don't really want to answer the question. I'm trying. I'm just dancing. But I think just to be successful, you have to learn everything. If you suck at one thing, it derails the entire train. If you have one wheel that's messed up on the train, it's going to fall off the tracks. So you have to be proficient in everything, and then you can go from there.
Did I hear you say that you're doing the CD and the web package as well?
Web package.
Or
Well,
web story?
our .com guys will take the broadcast version and attach it to the website, but then I go back and take everything I have, all my notes, and I write an AP style version where you actually have punctuation and those quotation mark things.
So how much do you change it? I mean, how much do you find yourself thinking, geez, if I was writing this...
Have you ever tried, as an experiment, take a television package from a reporter and try and transcribe it. And then read it out loud and go, what the hell is this? It's present tense, the train explodes as it drives by. No, the train exploded when it passed. And then vice versa. Take a newspaper article and read it out loud. You'll be asleep halfway through. It's not meant to be out loud. It's meant to be cerebral, inside your head. But broadcasting is a performance. We're talking, we're conversational. It's completely different. So what I do is I have a formula, time-saving formula. I copy my entire broadcast script, because that's what I care about the most, because that guy pays the most money. And then I copy it onto another piece of paper, and then I start changing all the says to said. I start spelling things correctly. I change all the caps to sentence. It's literally just from the basic format of, because everything I type for broadcast is in caps, so I can see it when I read it. And then I'll take the phrases and the fragmented sentences and make complete sentences with those comma things, because I use dashes. You ellipse people think me mad. Come on, that was fun.
But it does work for you to pretty much use the same structure for the both mediums, for example.
Kind of. You still have to change, because the way I write my broadcast styles make them my broadcast stories, and and I'm saying this as a person who is not an expert in AP style in any way whatsoever. I'm like 10 hairs short of a big baboon when it comes to AP. So when I write my broadcast piece, I'll start with something flowery like, what was my story yesterday? Oh yes, okay, I did a story about these ultralights flying across the border dropping drugs. Okay, and they're crashing into helicopters, whatever. But I started with Kevin Platt, owns an ultralight. He uses this for fun. Yeah, it's fun. And then I get into the fact that, oh, by the way, but while he's using his for fun, Mexican drug cartels are dropping drugs on our head. And Border Patrol's pissed. And I get into the whole big thing. And then at the end of the story, I wrap up, so people like Kevin Platt are keeping their eyes out and their wings flying, whatever it was that I wrote. It was better than that, trust me.